Ahri is an old school assassin, incredible at making flashy plays to one-shot enemies, as well as being too slippery to ever catch. Our player today is actually an Ahri Support player, previously reaching Challenger, and this season already in Grandmaster, with a very unique playstyle. This Ahri is really an inspiration for every single League of Legends player. Let me show you why. Our player's name is Proosia. They started playing League of Legends in Season 6, first beginning with Morgana as their main. Quickly after starting ranked and dropping all the way down to Bronze 2, they realised they suck at hitting skill shots. So for Season 7 they found a new champion they liked, that could still kill people even if their skill shots miss. Ahri was the perfect choice, with her W and her ult charges, dealing damage without even hitting anything. Mid Ahri helped Proosia climb to Platinum for the first time, but no further, so they decided to give Support Ahri a go, as they missed their old role. They had some success, but still could not climb due to all the flaming and toxicity they were facing for playing an off-meta champion. So they swapped back to mid, and through Season 8, they finally reached Diamond for the first time. At this point, Proosia was sick of mid Ahri, and really wanted to go back to climbing on support, but they were too worried about playing off-meta, and knew they would just get flamed every game. In Season 9, Proosia stopped caring about their opinions, and committed to Glacial Augment Ahri Support, because they knew it was good, and also really fun, ignoring all the toxic players that were telling them to stop. Immediately this season, Proosia shot up to Master, and then through Grandmaster, improving all the way to Challenger 300 LP. Finally, after ignoring the advice of other players, Proosia found a way to have success in their own way. Proosia realised that other players only had their own perspective on the game, and they often try to force that perspective onto you, even if it's incorrect. Proosia knew they could be a Challenger player, so why listen to the lower ranked players' opinions? Season 10 they stuck to the style, peaking even higher, 600 LP Challenger. In Season 11, Proosia is still playing Ahri Support, and has a ton of new builds and playstyles, which have netted Grandmaster already, well on the way to a new peak. I'm going to show you how they did it. Firstly, Proosia is not very good at League of Legends. I'm not being mean, but I think this is a really important point to make. Proosia knows they suck mechanically. They know they mess up skill shots a lot, and yet they can reach Challenger. This is because they have created a playstyle that works, regardless of these shortcomings. On Ahri, Proosia can miss a point-blank charm, and still get the kill with her ult. They can miss position in lane, ignoring their own rules that they have sent to me to teach to you, and still they end up winning that lane. This is the most forgiving AP support out of any. This champion has a ton of damage, and is a great place to start playing AP support for any elo. To me, this motivates me a lot, because if this style can get a less mechanically skilled player to Grandmaster, it means that developing a playstyle that fits you and that works is much more important than skill. Of course, Proosia can still ward well, doesn't feed too much, and contributes a lot to their team, but they are not a perfect player. They literally stopped playing Morgana because it was too hard to land her Q, and found an easier champion. Let's start with laning. Ahri mid lane is a champion that requires a lot of farm and levels to start impacting the game, but Ahri Support is a completely different story. At level 1, Proosia takes Q. They look for Q poke over and over again, pressuring enemies and setting up kill opportunities for later. Your level 1 is very weak because you have no CC, so play safe when your Q is not available. Proosia aims to push the wave with Q at level 1 so they can get an XP advantage, reaching level 2 first. At level 2, Proosia takes their E. This is your first Powerspike. E plus Q are all you need to kill bot lane. Proosia is even so confident that they sometimes flash charm the carry and set up a free kill already at level 2. Your charm is better than a normal CC, as it makes enemies miss position walking towards you, giving you extra time to DPS with your AD carry and pick up kills that no other support could. A flash plus charm combo onto the enemy AD carry means that they either die or at least lose their flash as a trade. This is way more valuable for you, as you can then kill them or gank them at any point, since they have no flash to escape it. If you are against an engaging champion, Ahri's only option is to use the wave to block CC skill shots and position back to respect their engages. Here, if you get a kill or take an early base, buy boots, a control ward, refillable potion and Oracle's lens, and go for a quick mid lane roam before your AD carry gets back to bot lane. Also put the early control ward in River Pixel Bush for some insane early vision. Once back in lane, your goal is to play in bushes, looking for charms to get kills, and continue poking with your Q. You still have the same power level, you just get more damage each level. At level 6, you unlock the main reason why Ahri is such a fun and powerful champion, her ultimate. 3 charges, 3 dashes. You might think, why is Ahri support better than a support like Brand, or Nico, or any AP support, who can do so much? This ability right here is why. What other support could get out of this 1v4 without even needing a flash? Ahri support is like an AP pike, dashing in and out of plays, being as flashy as possible. This ability enables Ahri roams. You can get into a fight way before the enemy support can, ending the fight before they have even had a chance to answer. You can stay in fights till the end no matter what, with your ability to jump walls and cut off escapes. What other support could dash this wall, follow up with high damage, then dash another wall to keep the fight even, and finish off picks? And if you want a champion that can finally beat Seraphine, we might just have found it. At this point, Proosia starts looking for roams, and plays with their jungler. If an enemy walks near you, they have to flash away or they die. If an enemy overextends in any lane, you ult to them and they die. A tip for getting picks here is you Q first and then you use your E afterwards. Enemies will always try and dodge the charm, so throwing Q first makes them think that is where the charm is going, which lets you set up a free charm afterwards as they have no ability left to dodge the actual CC, and even if they both miss, you can still do a lot of damage with your other abilities. We are now in mid game. Your job here is to group up with players and start picking enemies off. Keep accelerating your team ahead, getting gold, and use your Q to push waves to get priority for objectives. Sticking around mid lane is great, get vision to control the sides of it, as well as to look for picks. By now you have your first item, so you'll be doing a lot of damage even solo. An EQW combo will really start to hurt. Proosia thinks this is probably the strongest point in the game for support Ahri, since your ultimate cooldown should be very low with ultimate hunter and cooldown reduction. Here you have the damage to go for solo kills, not just rely on your team. Ahri support has so many options for items, including Ryalize or Everfrost. These are both insane for setting up more picks for your team. I have been obsessed with Everfrost recently, and it is getting an incredible buff next patch, which also makes it easier for supports to buy, since the components are all very cheap. In teamfights, Ahri support has two options. Fight number 1, stick with your team grouped up and charm the front line, so that your team can focus them down. Here's a perfect example. Ahri secures a free pick with ult and charm, then ults away to dodge Draven ults for safety. This is a Moonstone game, so Ahri is playing passive and supportive here. Enemies still want to fight, so he peels back and tries to land a charm. This miss baits a full-on enemy engage, which Ahri flashes to nullify. The enemy Nocturne full commits onto Ahri, but once again, they're just baiting, letting a huge Fiddlesticks ult come in and clean up the fight for the win. The second type of fight is a dive fight with your ultimate. You dive in and you try to burst an important enemy carry. Here's a great example showing the mobility you can have in a fight. Ahri ults into range to DPS, ults again over a wall to finish off kills, then ults again to chase the escaping Seraphine. There is no running from Ahri in these mid-game fights. If a team fight goes slightly in her favour, the enemies are all dead. Proosia even has another secret strategy that could win fights solo, even before it starts. Ahri as a champion is a high threat for the enemy team, right? She has damage and mobility, so of course they want to catch her out and get a pick before the main fight starts. Proosia can use this to their advantage, making enemies overextend massively to finish off a kill, slipping away each time until enemies are suddenly way too far up, where they get collapsed on and killed by Ahri's team. In bigger fights, Proosia uses ult to bait. Starting off baiting Daisy with it, Proosia then baits Aphelios ult and Heimerdinger ult, dodging it with Ahri's dash. Prusia's team can then rotate in with a flank to take an unlosable fight. A flash in to get a charm seals the end of the fight, while the team chases for final kills. At no point did the enemy team stand a chance of winning this fight, with 3 key teamfight ultimates missing, giving Ahri's team full map control that enemies will never be coordinated enough to respect in solo queue. Oh, and if you want to see if this playstyle really works, I'm playing it right now on stream in high elo EU West. Come watch and I'll prove that anyone can climb with these strategies. In late game, this playstyle continues. Outside fights continue your pick-based playstyle, and in fights, you should have enough damage to be looking for flash charms onto enemy carries, bursting them to win the fights. Adding an extra assassin to your team means enemies always need to be worried about fighting. Normally here, I would say that a challenger player is very patient and goes in at exactly the right time to get a kill, then escapes with time to spare. Proosia instead can just use the power of Ahri ult to attempt to get the timing right, and adjust if they get it wrong. I cannot stress enough how forgiving it is, having so many dashes on a support. There's a reason why Seraphine has no dash. There's a reason why Sona has no dash. Vel'Koz, Brand, none of them have dashes. If any other AP support tried to make these plays, they die to make them. Proosia instead makes them, lives, and then can make even more after, when the threat is lower. You could also try out this insane AD Ahri mid build from Korean Diamond 1 solo queue. This player's name translates to Prism Stone, which seems to be some cool Korean anime, so the ridiculously funny looking Ahri build fits well. Early CSing is easy, you can even get kills in lane with your base damage. You're basically an AD carry who has 3 dashes to dodge and reposition, as well as a W for speed up and kiting. Your W is like Kai'Sa E without disabling your auto attacks. Late game, this build picks up with Essence Reaver, Kraken Slayer, and Infinity Edge, letting you surprise enemies with your crits, and giving them no way to escape from you. You could even try this bot lane, the CC and early damage would work well with any CC support, and you don't even end up with too much magic damage, because you have an AD build. Back to Prusia's Ahri support. They take Ignite Flash every game for kill pressure in lane. Proosia bans Kai'Sa every game due to her being by far the best AD carry at the moment, but bans like Thresh, Leona, and tanky CC supports are good as well. Here's the skill order. For the build, Ahri Support has so many options. Proozia's favourite build right now is Shirelia's, but Ahri can also rush items like Ryalize, Night Harvester, Proto-Belt, Everfrost, or even get Moonstone and still be effective. I personally would like to plug Everfrost plus Cosmic Drive as a great combo that's getting buffed a ton next patch. The CC works amazing with Ahri's charm to double the CC duration and set up your other damage. Proozia's second item is always situational, unless you're doing the Moonstone build, which will always lead to Staff of Flowing Water for the combo. Otherwise, Zhonya's, Banshee's, or Void Staff are great as your second item. By the time you get to third item, you should have won the game by then. Otherwise, a double defensive strategy is great. For example, Zhonya's and Banshee's Veil, or you can get Morello's if you need anti-heal. Try and avoid expensive items as support doesn't get enough gold. For example, if you try and build Rabadons, you'll be building it for 20 minutes, and you won't be at maximum power for a long period of time. Supports love cheap and effective items like Moonstone and Staff. There's a reason it's so OP. For runes, Proosia takes this Electrocute page with Zombie Ward for some amazing vision control. This page has good scaling, good mid and late game damage, and it's the best one for most elos. But there's also this page that Proosia has been testing, with Comet or Ahri as the main keystone, which has more poke in lane and is less risky. Don't forget to check out the stream at twitch.tv/happychimenoises. Off meta high elo every day from 1 PM GMT. We might even play some AD Ahri today. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching.